Hello everyone, welcome to Wonder Garden channel. When you see your orchid appearing with tiny white spots or mold sticking on the leaves or stems, how will you handle it? This is a problem that many beginners in orchid growing often encounter. If ignored, the plant will become weaker, the leaves will turn yellow, the roots will rot, and it will gradually wither away. In today's video, I will guide you on how to revive orchids affected by white fungus or harmful parasites using only a few very familiar ingredients from the kitchen. With just a few simple steps and gentle care, your orchids will gradually regain their vitality, grow strong roots, turn green again, and especially bloom brilliantly once more. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any plant care videos. Let's get started. To prepare today's fertilizer, I'll be using garlic, a familiar ingredient found in every kitchen. I don't use too much, just about 3 cloves. Like this will do. Garlic contains powerful natural antibacterial and antifungal compounds, especially allicin, which helps protect orchids from fungal attacks and harmful bacteria, keeping the plants healthy and resilient. After finely chopping all 3 garlic cloves, I place them into a clean glass jar. Next, I add about 500 milliliters of warm water to help the nutrients in the garlic extract more quickly and effectively. After that, cover the jar and let the mixture sit undisturbed for about 3 hours. This must be an important spot before using it. This is one of the orchids in my garden that's currently suffering from a severe infection. If you take a closer look, you'll notice a thick layer of white fungus covering the roots and growing medium. The fungus not only absorbs the plant's nutrients, but also makes the medium compact and airless, preventing the roots from breathing and developing properly. To make matters worse, this orchid is also infested with white mealybugs, one of the main reasons the plant has become weak and stunted. Mealybugs usually gather to suck sap from the base of the leaves and tender stems, but in this case, they've even attacked the flower spike. Before the buds could bloom, the infestation had already caused the spike to wither and die, preventing the orchid from flowering as expected. Therefore, to restore this orchid, the first thing I need to do is remove all of the growing medium that has been infected by fungus. If we keep the old medium, even if we add fertilizer or nutrients, the plant will still have difficulty absorbing them, and the fungus and mealybugs will only continue to thrive. In addition to the English voice, we have now created dubbed voices in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on Settings, the gear icon, to select the appropriate audio language. I will gently peel away the layers of medium clinging to the roots. When doing this, you must work carefully to avoid breaking any healthy roots. It's best to remove the medium bit by bit while closely inspecting the roots. Any areas with heavy white fungal growth should be thoroughly cleaned so nothing is left behind. After removing all the old growing medium, we can clearly see the entire root system of the orchid. I'll use a clean, sterilized pair of pruning scissors to start trimming. Rotten roots usually appear dark brown or black, soft and mushy, and they easily collapse when touched. Healthy roots, on the other hand, are firm, green, or ivory white, and feel solid and elastic when gently squeezed. We should only keep the healthy roots and cut off all the damaged ones to prevent the spread of disease to the remaining roots. Besides the roots, if any flower spikes have been attacked by mealybugs, you should also trim them off to prevent the infestation from spreading to the healthy parts of the plant. This is also a way to help the orchid release its energy, allowing it to focus on these developing a stronger and healthier new root system later on. Next, after removing all the rotten and damaged roots, I'll rinse the entire orchid thoroughly under running water. This step helps wash away any remaining pathogens, fungal spores, or debris clinging to the stem and roots. At the same time, clean water allows the plant to breathe better. Returning to the garlic infusion prepared earlier, once it is soaked for the required time, I'll strain out all the garlic solids, keeping only the clear liquid that contains all the extracted nutrients. Next, I'll dilute this solution with about 1 liter of clean water to reduce its concentration, preventing any potential harm to the orchid's delicate new roots. Once the solution is diluted, I'll soak the entire base of the orchid in the garlic water. This soaking serves to disinfect the plant, eliminate fungi, and repel harmful pests, such as white mealybugs. At the same time, the natural antibacterial compounds in garlic protect the roots and help the orchid recover quickly after infection. This is a very important step to ensure the plant has a strong foundation before being replanted into a new pot. Next, I'll use the garlic water solution to wipe the orchid's leaves. Use a soft cloth or cotton pad, lightly soaked in the solution, and gently wipe over the entire surface of each leaf. This helps remove accumulated dust and debris, while also eliminating microorganisms and mold that could harm the plant. Pay special attention to the underside of the leaves and the small crevices between them, as these are common hiding spots for mealybugs, thrips, and fungal spores. Regularly cleaning the leaves with garlic water not only prevents pest and disease problems, but also keeps the foliage lush, glossy, and healthy, improving photosynthesis, and allowing the orchid to grow steadily and sustainably. I'll pour the remaining garlic water solution into a spray bottle and mist it evenly over all the other orchid pots in the garden. Misting the orchids with garlic water acts as a natural protective layer, helping prevent the invasion of fungi and harmful insects. When spraying, lightly mist from the tips to the base, covering both the upper and lower sides of the leaves, as these are common hiding spots for pests. This method not only keeps healthy orchids safe, but also strengthens their immunity and promotes lush, vigorous growth. With regular use, you'll notice your orchid garden stays disease-free. The leaves remain glossy, and the flowers bloom evenly and last longer. About 30 minutes. After soaking, I gently lift the orchid out of the garlic water. By this time, the plant has been thoroughly cleaned and has absorbed enough nutrients. It's important not to replant immediately. After soaking, because when the roots and base are still damp, they are highly susceptible to reinfection by fungi. Instead, I'll use a soft string to secure the orchid at its base and hang it in a well-ventilated area with gentle airflow. avoiding direct sunlight. The plant will hang and dry like this for about 3 days. This period allows the cut ends of the roots to heal, the base to dry thoroughly, and gives the plant time to rest, preparing it for replanting into fresh medium afterward. After 3 days in a cool, airy spot, once the base and roots are completely dry, I'll begin replanting the orchid. Today I've chosen pine bark as the main growing medium because it is both well aerated and moisture retentive, ideal for orchid growth. Prepare the pot and base layer. Start by spreading a layer of small pine bark pieces evenly at the bottom of the pot. This provides good drainage and airflow for the roots. Gently place the orchid in the center of the pot. Carefully arrange the roots so that they are evenly distributed around the plant, ensuring they are not bent or crowded. Begin covering the roots with additional pine bark, layering it slowly. As you add more, lightly press to stabilize the plant, making sure it remains upright and secure. While adding the medium, double-check that the roots are well supported but not compressed. Proper spacing allows them to breathe, absorb nutrients, and grow freely. Continue layering until the orchid sits firmly in the pot. The plant should be stable, with roots fully surrounded by the pine bark, ready to grow healthily in its new medium. To prevent the plant from wobbling while watering, I'll use a support stake and gently tie the orchid stem with a soft string. Finally, I cover the surface of the pot with a thin layer of moss. This layer not only helps retain moisture for the roots, but also creates a humid and protective environment that encourages the growth of new roots. Additionally, the moss adds a natural, aesthetic touch to the pot, making the orchid look more vibrant and healthy, while supporting its overall recovery and development. Once the orchid has been successfully potted, to help it recover quickly and stimulate new root growth, I'll use a very familiar ingredient: rice powder. Rice contains a variety of nutrients such as B vitamins, carbohydrates, and minerals that promote root development and improve the plants to absorb nutrients effectively. I'll use 1 spoonful of rice powder. I add it to about 500 milliliters of warm water. and stir well so that all the nutrients dissolve completely. This solution, especially when applied to orchids that have just been repotted like this, helps the roots recover quickly and firmly anchor into the growing medium. Let the mixture sit until the water cools completely. Once the water has cooled, I stir the mixture well and strain it through a sieve to remove any undissolved solids, keeping only the clear liquid to use for the plant. Dilute the rice water with 500 milliliters of clean water. Then, use this nutrient-rich liquid fertilizer to gently water the newly potted orchid, making sure the solution reaches the roots evenly. Apply it carefully and in moderation. Avoid pouring too much at once, as overwatering can lead to root rot and hinder the plant's recovery. This method ensures the roots absorb nutrients effectively while keeping the growing medium well aerated, supporting strong and healthy growth. Finally, place the orchid in a well-ventilated spot with gentle indirect sunlight, making sure it is protected from direct rain or harsh weather. Here's a small tip for you. When an orchid has just been repotted, maintaining stable humidity in its growing environment is crucial for quick recovery and healthy development. To achieve this, you can use a plastic or glass saucer like this, placing it under the pot and adding a little clean water inside. The water will gradually evaporate, creating a gentle, humid microenvironment around the base of the plant. Results. After about 3 weeks, you'll be amazed to see new roots starting to sprout, full of vitality and firmly anchoring into the growing medium. The leaves also become stronger, darker green, and glossier than before. This demonstrates that with consistent care and proper techniques, even orchids that were once infected with fungus or weakened can recover and thrive again. Other orchids in the garden, when treated using the same method, also show promising results: strong root growth and lush, glossy leaves. Gradually, new flower spikes begin to emerge from the base, signaling that a fresh blooming season is on the way. When we care for our plants with love and passion, they respond with stunning blooms that last for a long time. Sometimes even a single stem can produce numerous flowers, like a heartfelt thank you from nature itself. What do you think about this method of orchid care? Leave a comment below and let me know. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Wonder Garden so we can continue exploring more tips to keep your orchids lush and flowering all year round.